All right. Welcome to the show, The Conscious Mantras. Today we have my good friend Graffanati, straight from Texas.
How's everybody
He
doing?
is he's the best decoder I can find. Q things Q things, to decode Trump tweets, to decode gematria and everything. If you want anything to get decoded, this is your guy,
Thank you.
Graffanati.
Thank you. I
And his
appreciate that.
username is Graffanati1776. You can find it on Instagram with this username. All right, Graff, over to you, bro.
Well, first off, that was an amazing introduction. So thank you. I'm humbled. Yeah, man, I'm super happy to be here. Just from
I'm glad
the
too.
past year of knowing you, we've built such a connection. I said this on my show that we're soul brothers, that, we got lost on this planet and we found our way back to each other. And it's nothing but good vibes every time I talk to you, Rex. So,
Absolutely.
I'm really grateful to be here. We're going to talk about a lot of fun things today, man. So thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely, Yeah, so it's equinox season, is
Yeah,
it?
totally.
So
Totally.
I've been following your Instagram so deeply. I watch all your posts, and I especially go to your account and watch all your posts. So that I don't miss any of the, and the thing, the post you connect. It's really amazing. The thing, you can connect with the, you can predict so many things and it connects in the future. That's so amazing. So what did you predicted in this equinox season that has been come true, right now, from as of being March 22 till date?
Well, I would say, that a lot of people were confused on the New Year situation because, we
Yeah.
have been lied to. The knowledge has been suppressed. But the real New Year starts on March 20th, right? And that is the spring equinox. So I have a theory that I've had since I was a kid, right?
All
And
right.
this theory is that during the winter time it's obviously a darker time, right? So it's when everything
Hmm.
dies, there's not as much sunlight, the abundant energy is not as strong, right? So that's kind of like how we played into the timeline with Biden becoming the president. Biden, during the debates, he said it's going to be a dark winter. The thing
Yeah,
that happened with
I
Texas
remember
with the
that.
solar winds. So bad things happen in the winter, correct? And it's always been that
Correct.
way. Like if you go back into your thoughts and you think about since you were a kid during the winter time, it's a dark time. It's not a fun time, right? There's seasonal depressions, there's all sorts of things, right? So now we get to the spring equinox, right? And just from that alone, speaking for myself and probably speaking for others, but the energy is way higher. We're feeling an influx of abundant energy. And also, we left 2020 behind, which was undoubtedly a terrible year, right? So,
Yeah.
also, funny little thing, it's also Barron Trump's birthday that day.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So, so the energy has been super duper high
Yeah.
since the
Yeah.
spring equinox. We're seeing things happen now, and like I said, just on a empathic level, the energy is different, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you one thing, like in Hindu culture, we don't celebrate New Year on like the Jewish calendar, like the 31st December 2021 or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We spend our, we calculate our months and we celebrate our New Year when there is a full moon, like according to the moon. So every year the New Year is on different date,
Okay.
and it always comes around between March March to April, like March last second week or last week, or the April first week. That's the time where we celebrate the New Year, always, all the time, in according to Hindu culture. So like when you said it's equinox season, and it's March 20, which is a real New Year. And I was thinking, like it's the same with the Hindu culture, although the dates are a little bit different, for us maybe it will be like around 27 or something, or 24 or something, right? I haven't seen the Hindu calendar right now, so I cannot say, but it's between the, like 20 to first week of April. And that's connect the theory, like when we think everything, like when we are decoding anything, we think according to the Jewish calendar.
Yeah, totally.
That's where we get wrong, that's where our all the predictions get wrong, because we don't have to think always all the time according to the Jewish calendar.
Correct,
All right,
correct.
right. So that's the thing, yeah. So anyways, so yeah, like I got to tell you one fun fact too, like my
Of course.
astrologer said, yeah, my astrologer said that after March 20, my astrological stars and planets are being aligned in a way
Oh
that
yeah.
my future is so strong, like no one can stop me to do anything if I want to do that. So like
Amazing.
that's how the energy is, that's how the energy I can feel is so powerful.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
Like astrologically, it's just the way that the sun goes around the planet. It doesn't complete its cycle until the 20th. It's, all of these cultures have studied the stars, the cosmos, no matter what they
Exactly.
want to believe. And a lot of these things have been suppressed with other knowledges because if you think about it, back to what I was saying about the wintertime, if you're talking about on a satanic level, on a dark level, wouldn't it be the best time to celebrate the new year when all of that is happening, when all the things are dying, when everything is going to a dead cycle? Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a good time to celebrate the new year and trick people's minds into thinking that's the new year instead of not celebrating it on when spring has sprung and the flowers and the trees and all these things are growing. But then on a whole nother topic, what they do is they use Easter, which is Ishatar, which is the goddess of
Oh yeah.
fertility and sex, and they hide that in the religion to make you think that that's the real day that Jesus
Yeah.
rose, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything is
Yeah.
backwards. Everything is the way that they want it to be to keep you in this dark cycle, right? So
Yeah.
now that we've reached the spring equinox, we can feel like people like me and you and others that are empathic or star seeds or indigos or whatever you want to call yourself can feel the shift of energy, right?
Oh
And we
yeah.
are riding this wave very, very high into the end of March because they say March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb, right? That's a very
Exactly.
old wives'
Exactly.
tale that it starts rough and then comes out beautifully, right? And we're seeing
Exactly.
that transition happen right now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like I totally believe you that transition is happening, because I don't know with other people, because like so many layers inside our body, inside our consciousness is happening. That's why we cannot feel our inner consciousness, our inner heat, our inner warmth, what we say. But people like you, or I don't count myself in this, but like people like you and a lot of people I know can feel the difference. Like you can feel the energy so high. Like if the energy is not good, you're gonna feel like draining your energy
Oh yeah.
all day, right? Like it feels like that. I feel like I felt something like that past couple of days. Like when the energies are not good, I feel draining. Like my energy is draining or something, and
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
I feel so happy without any reason. Without any
Exactly.
reason. Like, and when I see the news, and like when the thing I can notice is that when I feel happy, and when I feel like I don't know, there's something positive in the environment. And whenever this happen, I feel there has been done something by white hats.
Oh
It
yeah.
can be anything, like it can be the Mr. Pool post for cryptocurrencies, XRP, or it can be like Trump old post, like coming back, or its Q post coming back, anything. But it happened all the time that I have noticed.
Oh
So
yeah.
do you feel the same what I feel? Like is it the
Oh
same with
yeah,
you?
definitely, dude. I mean, especially that you just said that a couple days ago before this equinox, you felt
Hmm.
super like drained and like kind
Yeah.
of defeated.
Yeah.
And what would the purpose of that be? The winter or the dark knows that it's
Yeah.
their last lick. It's their last
Exactly.
chance. It's their
Exactly.
last chance right now because the spring is about to come and the abundant energy that comes through the equinox is about to take it all out. So everything that's happening right now is because of this energy that has been literally placed onto earth from God, where we have waves of crystalline energy coming through and angels and all different sort of light sources coming in because of the spring equinox portal, right?
Exactly.
So the last licks that you felt in that draining moment, of course, I felt it too. Like the other day, I literally felt like I was having a heart attack. I felt like something was attacking me. And then the other day, like last week, I had a dream. Well, I was in the astral, right? I was astral traveling, and I was fighting Dementor like creatures, like from Harry Potter, those black like ghosts that attack your soul.
Oh
I
yeah.
was fighting them. And they were vanishing, but they were trying to stop me from going to, it looked like a golden castle, right? And I slept with my friend, gave me a crystal, right? And
Yeah, I
it's
saw that on
called,
your Instagram.
yes, it's called labradite or merlinite, right? And when I woke up, I had the crystal in my hand, and the crystal was so hot, and it looked on the like pattern of the crystal, it looked like the creature that I was fighting. Like I actually caught
For real? For
for
real?
real, for real. Like I actually
Man.
caught this Dementor like demon inside of this crystal. So they have been attacking
Oh
us,
wow.
but our power is so much stronger than theirs. Like we are on the God wins timeline. Like there's like, you can feel the
Absolutely.
energy, dude. You can feel it. And there's so many things happening, especially in literally the past 2 days, like today and
Exactly.
yesterday, you know?
Yeah, so talking about today and yesterday, I think you were talking about some guy resigned or died. Like I don't remember his name. Who
Oh,
who was
well,
that?
today alone, we
Uh-huh.
had the oncologist, I forget his name, Jose something,
Mm-hmm.
died of AstraZeneca. And AstraZeneca, we know, is the vaccine that's being turned away even by the Europeans. And they're like
Yeah,
more susceptible to the Illuminati and the cabal. So if they're turning this away, you know it's not
exactly,
good, right? You know it's not good.
exactly,
So this dude
exactly.
just dies at 61 randomly. Like that should be a sign for what is to come, right? And then we had the president of the Heritage company resign today. Like there's just so
Oh,
many different things. And the funny thing is last week, uh on the 17th, oh, I'm sorry, on the 15th, I
uh-huh.
remember I saw a post about how the Marines were in Florida, right? By Mar-a-Lago, like protecting Trump or whatever. And
Oh yeah.
so I go and I'm like, you know what? Let me look up the Q post for March 17th, right? So the Q post for March 17th is next week. Boom, 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 boom. USMC activated, right? So then we had the situation
Oh,
with Biden falling down the stairs, right? So Dan
yeah.
Scavino makes a video with Trump climbing
I
up the
saw that.
stairs, and the song that he chooses is POD, boom, right? So already it's Monday, and we're seeing booms, right? We are
Exactly,
seeing
man.
booms. So for people that don't believe in Q and it's a LARP and it's this and it's that, I'm not even going to go into all the Q proofs or anything like that. I suggest that you go and watch the actual HBO documentary, which we'll get into in a second. But already I'm seeing that we are in a boom week. We are going to see a lot of booms heading into this week.
Damn, this was so amazing, bro. I remember I saw your post, boom, 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 but I was at office that time, so like I didn't get time to look up all the things, like all the captions you posted and everything. So man, this was amazing, bro.
It's
Yeah, I
great.
I, I saw that Dan posted something with Trump escalating to his like airplane. And
Yes.
by the way, do you remember this photo? I don't know the authenticity, but there was this photo going viral where like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris like going back or going to the airplane
They're
together in the
flying
same
together.
Air Force One. Oh,
Yeah,
they were
they're flying
flying
together.
together, yes.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, in
flying together.
one airplane, and that never happened. That
No,
never happened.
no,
Yeah,
that's
man.
that's that's
And the other thing I heard the news that Biden is planning to securing the White House from with the troops like for an year or something.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like passing the bill or something to like to secure the White House through
Well, also
wires and
today,
everything.
today they're voting on making DC a state. So they don't want it to be like the
Are they?
Vatican no more. They don't want it to be like its own.
Oh,
And I look over at the clock and we're in line 1111. We're in
Yeah.
line, but they are trying to vote today to make DC not a private entity anymore, but an actual state. So that should tell you where we are
Oh.
right now.
Man, like earlier, like we knew that Vatican is the religious arm of the deep state, like
Yes.
how like they religiously controlled, like they go, DC, all the other countries used to send children, used to traffic children to the Vatican, like
Oh
most of the
yeah.
children to the
Mother
Vatican, and after
Teresa.
Mother Teresa and
Yeah, all
like
that.
her missionaries, even Pope and
Disgusting.
everyone, that was so disgusting. Yes, like this is why one of the first red pill I got, like about Mother Teresa and the Pope and everything.
Yeah.
So anyways, like coming back to the point, I also read in news that Pope is sorry, not Pope, the Vatican is not getting funds.
Broke. They are broke.
They are broke.
They are
and
broke.
and if I connect this with the Indian scenario, so the Roman Catholic churches used to send every penny to Vatican. So when like the our current minister came into power in 2014, well, not from the starting of the 2014, but slowly and gradually he stopped, like he stopped churches to give the money, like without getting, like noted down, like what money, where you sending the money, like anything like that. So I think this is the connection, like
Totally.
India used to send a lot of money, like the earlier government, which was like Indian National Congress here, were used to send so many money to Vatican for like past 60 years.
Oh
And
yeah.
now they don't have anything, they don't have any power. That's why Vatican is like broke now. And this is just one thing, like just think about, so many countries have stopped. You can think that we are in control because Vatican is not getting the money. The Britishers cannot even send the money to Vatican because the UK was the financial
Yeah,
arm
the
of the deep
crown.
state. If you know, yeah, it was a
Most
crown.
definitely.
Crown is not in power now. Vatican is broke. DC is captured. Like,
It
and people
seems like we're on
still
the right
think
timeline. Yeah, right.
exactly, and people still think okay, we are not in a right timeline.
Well, you know what?
Timeline. We are.
People want to see Hillary Clinton just arrested. That's the only thing that they're
Yeah.
focused on because
Yeah.
that's what the
Exactly.
news and everything made the optics look like. But just what you just said about India not sending money to the Vatican, the crown not having power, the Vatican coming out and saying they're broke is way bigger than watching Hillary Clinton be arrested. Straight
Exactly.
up, dude.
Exactly.
Straight
I'm
up.
happy.
Straight
I'm
up.
happy a little bit, but I'm happy.
I got chills all over me, bro. We are on the
Exactly.
highest timeline right now. And it literally coincides with that about I want to say a couple months ago, about the plane rides leaving the Vatican with tons and tons of gold on these planes.
Oh,
I think it was like 350 plane rides from the Vatican
wow.
to America to the treasury, taking all their gold. So it's showing right now that that's really
What
what
else do you
happened.
need?
Yeah, that's what happened. That they actually did take all the gold and we have all the gold. And that's another Q proof right there because they literally said that we have the gold. And there's another one that I posted the other day where it says the Pope's going to have a very bad May. And I think we're on the timeline where we're going to see, I mean, all of this stuff, all this optics coming out in March about the Vatican can very much show that the timeline of the Pope being fully exposed being in May.
Exactly. Exactly.
The time is there for that.
Exactly. I mean, Pope is already dead, if we say.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the
Yeah.
disclosure to the people though.
Yeah.
Pope's
Like the
long
little
gone. The
conspiracy.
holograph and all that, he's gone. But for the
Yeah.
disclosure of the people, I think we are on the timeline to have that being seen in May.
Exactly. I feel that too, bro. Like I feel you and I connect with you because like we don't just talk, we give the connections. Like
Totally.
if I have to go to your Instagram and everything, I see the connections. I see you connect the dots, not just like speaking like like anything,
Totally.
just like black pill or something. Speaking to which, speaking of which, do you think like the movies which we are getting right now, like the Simpsons we got now, the Hboq documentary we are getting, do you think is it a good like good time to get like people give the red pill, or like, like it's just another trick or something, like what do you
So
think?
so I watched both episodes yesterday, and I am thoroughly impressed. I mean, it really wasn't. If they're trying to make that a hit piece, it's not working, because they literally showed so many proofs. They showed Tippy Top. They showed the McCain proof. They showed so many proofs that, I mean, it definitely red pilled normies. There's no way that that was a hit piece that they were like trying to. But like I said, it's only 2 episodes in. There are 6 episodes. We have to see what it is.
Exactly.
But so far, from my perspective, it's looking pretty based and red pilled, and I'm digging
Yeah.
it. I'm digging
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like if I would be a normie, and if I see like Michael General Flynn tweet
Oh
where he
yeah.
says about the Clinton emails, where he says about the trafficking and everything,
Oh yeah.
I will go to the internet and gonna search about the Clinton emails and anything, and this is how I get red pill. This is how
Totally.
I get red pill, right?
Totally.
So like you remember I said, like, first, this generation which we have, the normies generation right now which we have, first we got to black pill them, and then we got to red pill them, because they are so sensitive, I believe, like they cannot get red pill directly. We have to convert them slowly, like time by
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
because
it
they
has
are
to be
so
drip,
much
drip, drip, drip
sensitive.
to make a flood. It has to be drip, drip,
Exactly.
drip. You have to do this slowly. You can't just come out and be like, okay, they're sex trafficking, they're killing, they're satanic, they're this, they're that, because most of the information that you put out there, they'll just reject. They'll be like, oh, you're crazy,
Exactly.
you're conspiracy
Exactly.
theorist, Trump's a conspiracy theorist. This is like, they won't be able to obtain the information, right? So
Exactly.
by doing these things, by putting out these little like drops here and there, it starts to desensitize their mind more and more. And then that's why I totally believe that this whole entire Biden administration is controlled by the white hats. It's to make
Exactly.
these
That's what I'm
people,
saying.
yeah, it's to make these people that really voted for Biden and are still under this mockingbird media control, right, of this matrix. It shows them in real time that this is really what they're doing. This is not a conspiracy theory. You're seeing all these things
Exactly.
happen at the border right now with these children that are wrapped up in silver like tinfoil blankets, like roasting like burritos or hot
Exactly.
dogs at a baseball game. Like, it's not a joke. Like, they're really sex trafficking children through the border. And that's why Trump put up a wall. And that's why Trump tried
Exactly.
to stop all this, because of these things. So I think the white hats are allowing this Biden administration to absolutely drop red nukes on the normies. Then you got
Exactly.
these documentaries like the Q Doc, and you got the South Park episode, and it's just more disclosure to their minds.
Exactly. Like I also think the Biden administration is the biggest red pill,
Oh
like,
yeah,
and after like the Simpsons and the Q documentary and everything which is happening right now, like through Mockingbird Media and everything, these are the little chunks of red pills people get, like, doesn't matter what information they're getting, because they're gonna forget whatever they see in this fictional way, like the
yeah, yeah,
Simpsons,
yeah.
but their subconscious mind will not gonna forget anything. So sooner or later their subconscious mind will eradicate, like it will differentiate the information, and it will put out the right one and kick the wrong information out of their mind, like, and suddenly they're gonna get a hit, like they're gonna get a hit, and they will gonna think like, damn, what I was doing from this past, like past of my life, like whatever I have learned, I have to relearn everything. That's gonna be their message from their subconscious mind, and I believe it will be there, like everyone has their own time to get enlightened,
Yeah,
we cannot,
totally.
and it's, like the time is gone. The time to enlighten people is gone, and it's not on us now, it's on the, like the white hats, the people who are in actual control. They can only
Yes,
red pill people now, we cannot.
totally,
I think,
totally.
like the masses, of course we can, like we can red pill our personal, like our families, our friends, our online friends or anything, but we cannot connect to the masses right now, because white hats are doing that.
Totally,
And that's
totally.
okay, like it's because it's time for us to build the community, and I'm saying this in my each and every episode, that I think the community which we are building is the only answer or the solution to this thing,
Totally, totally.
right?
we're at the point right now where we're watching the consciousness shift in real time, right? So, the people that are on the last March timeline of waking up, right? They're going further into things now. They're past the pedophilia stuff. They're past, the control of the cabal. They're past these things. And then they're starting to break into these sacred knowledges that, people like me and you have been studying for a long time. Like we're kind of born into knowing that the system was broken. So now we have the last lick, I would say, of the people that are still under control, right? And they're getting red pilled by the white hats, like you said, and they're just entering this, the cabal, the Epstein, like the first entrance of the rabbit hole, right? We'll say. And after the fact that, if these people don't wake up at this point, then it goes back to the timeline of 4 to 6 gone forever, right? Exactly. Like we will lose 4 to 6% of people because of just how irrationally controlled they are, like transgenderism, and then these people that have literally chosen Satan and are atheists or are just completely lost souls. If they can't figure it out, if they can't get that like aha spark in their consciousness, then they're pretty much done. Their timeline is over, and it's like
they're already dead. They're already dead.
Exactly.
Say,
they'll take themselves out,
And,
but for these other people though, right now, like with the Biden administration, like the people that are regretting voting for Biden, they're on their way to the red pill factory. They're on their way to the rabbit hole, But like I said, we have other people that woke up last March, which made this community so strong, from people like, me, 2001, trying to say these things and just people not listening to you, thinking you're absolutely insane. To where we are now is a very beautiful thing. And I think that the deepest part of the rabbit hole is consciousness, that there's a whole nother world within inside of yourself, right? That there's other dimensions out there, and that there's sacred knowledge that proves all of this stuff. Like they just came out with a report the other day about how all time is happening all at once, right? There is no past, there is no future, there is no present. It's all happening at once. And it's how you control the timeline. Like you said, you come to my page is magical because I'm a magical person. I have a quantum intuition. I'm able to connect these things. I'm able to pull things out of the timeline and put them in places and do these things. And everybody has this ability. Everybody has this power. It's just that it's been so suppressed out of your mind.
Yeah. So, like before we talk about, like it's that time of the episode where we talk about
my favorite part.
Esoteric stuff, our favorite part. But before we get into the the favorite part of us, but I want to talk about I want to know a little bit about your journey, like you're like red pill from the starting, like the 2001, and I'm gonna tell you one thing, like when I joined the Kang group, like when I was there, I used to watch the chats, and and you were like, I never talked to you at the time, but you used to like, yo, tell me about that Q post, like tell me about that Q post. And, like you were just like connecting the Q post inside the group chat. And I was like, damn, this man is super active. He knows thing. I got to talk to him, so anyway. So, like, let me tell us about a little bit of your journey, like, because this thing happened, the Q thing happened in 2017, but the people started waking up for like around, you can say, like in 2019 or 2018, maybe, like few people in 2018, but the masses started waking up in 2019 after the COVID thing happened, right? The lockdown and everything, right? So talk about your journey before that, like how do you used to like connect all the things, and how do you used to research?
Totally. So, I would say that I've always been a wizard, right? I've always been a magical person since I was a child. I had a very strong imagination where I can literally create movies and video games with inside of my mind. I've always had very powerful brain abilities, right? I had a very high IQ as a child. And, as soon as I got indoctrinated into the school system, in the 4th grade, I was medicated. I was told I had ADHD, which now I believe is attention to a higher dimension. I was put through the school system. They put me in dumb classes. They tried to ridicule me. They tried to put me into this square peg when I just wasn't that way. You know, I was a
The same
diamond.
bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. They try to control me in so many different ways. And it started to break down for me. And in the 8th grade, I got removed from public schools. In high school, I got kicked out of 5 high schools. I was arrested many times. I couldn't hold down a job. I was a rebel. I was a glitch in the matrix, right? I've always talked about these things. As I got a little bit older, like in middle school, I started to go down the rabbit holes. 9/11 happened. I'm from New Jersey originally.
Yeah.
I lived about 20 minutes from NYC. So I remember clearly a depiction of what happened with 9/11. And I started to dig into all that stuff, Loose Change, Zeitgeist, all of these documentaries that came out. I watched them all as a young kid. And I started at the rabbit hole very young, but I always knew about the Illuminati and all this stuff. Then when I was about 19 to 20 years old, I was a pretty dark soul, and I would talk about selling my soul and saying these things. And I won't get into the whole story now, but I was given a book. Basically, I was a rapper, and I was given a book, how to sell my soul, how to join the Illuminati and all these things.
Okay.
Yeah. We have to do a whole nother episode on my past, because we could be here all day, but
Yeah.
basically a lot of different things happened to me. I found Christ consciousness within the same period of time. And then I really started to flow into my energies. I was a drug addict for 14 years. I was addicted to opiates. I tell people the only thing that held me to the matrix was blue pills, because the drug I was addicted to were little blue pills, right? So they knew how to keep me in the matrix. I've been clean now for about 2.5 years.
That's
I smoke
amazing.
weed, I do plant medicine, whatever, but I've always been on this journey of being one of God's strongest soldiers that have been attacked and trying to be defeated in so many ways, that now at this point in my life, at 32 years old, I feel just strong and abundant in my faith, and that I'm unstoppable, kind of like what your astrological person told you, that you, after March 20th, you're unstoppable. I'm on that timeline of I'm unstoppable. Even if I died right now, my energy would live on, and it would even be better. I would just go to another dimension, and I would be stronger and better there. So we are on a very high prominent timeline right now. And I just want people to understand that from all the darkness, from all the kicks and all of the stabs in the back that I went through, it was the shadow work that I needed to do to get to this point. And if you're going through that same struggle, whether it's drugs, whether it's anxiety, depressions, whatever it is, understand that it's part of your journey for you to become the strongest level of yourself.
Exactly, like this, your journey is beautiful, bro. Like I have seen you posting about the how you overcome your like drug addiction and everything, and that's amazing. Like I can understand what the drug addiction is. Like what about any addiction. Like you talk about the addiction. I was like my addiction was different. I was like a coomer. I can say it loud. I was a coomer, but I'm not.
I was too.
I'm not now.
I was too.
Yeah, exactly. So I can feel the like how it's so difficult to get.
You're
out
also
of
a Pisces,
these,
right?
like,
You're also a Pisces.
Yeah, I'm a Pisces. Yes, I'm a Pisces.
We have that.
Pisces are the kings.
Yes, we have that trait about us where we get addicted to things. So
exactly, like So anyways, man, like your story is amazing. You have been here for like forever.
Oh yeah.
And the thing, this body of yours is just a physical realm. Your consciousness will gonna be alive for eternity.
Exactly.
Like that's what our Hindu culture or our Sanskrit manuscripts and every culture says about infinity. Like your soul is infinite, your spirit is infinite. No one can kill your spirit. And like they say that you can kill bad spirits. Like you can capture bad spirits. The bad spirits are not that strong, but the good spirits are super strong. Like you cannot capture them, you cannot control them so easily, right?
Oh yeah.
That's what the traits are of the good spirits. Like, and you can look up to your journey and you can say that, yeah, you are a good spirit because you came out of it.
Totally.
That's what it is. Anyway, so like talking about spirits and dimensions and everything, let's get to our favorite part, bro. Like the Hollywood, the Agartha, capital of Shambhala and everyone, right?
Let's do it.
Exactly. So I'm going, like before we get into the Hollywood, let me tell you the connections. Let's build up the connections here.
Totally.
Like, the Nazis have the maps of Hollow Earth, right?
Correct.
The USA Admiral Byrd have the whole diary about the Hollow Earth from North Pole to South Pole. And if you remember, there was this satellite called ESSA-7
Yes.
in 1970s. They found some images of hole on a North Pole. You know, I have
Yes.
these images with me. I'm gonna share it like on my video. So this North Pole hole, where like I believe that Admiral Byrd might have get into the North Pole hole and like came out of the South Pole and he saw everything different.
Yes.
He lost the way. His plane or his whatever the fighter jet or whatever the plane was, like they lost their way and like found a new way of inner Earth. you
Totally.
know so that's so amazing about talking about the Hollow Earth. Before I give you the floor, like let me tell you about the our Hindu connections with the Hollow Earth. So
Totally.
if you have heard about the Ramayana, the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata, so
Yes.
these are the two legend epics of the Hindu culture, right? And if we like put aside Mahabharata for a while and we look up to the Ramayana, people say that Lord Rama is like came from Agartha, the land of
Yes.
Agartha, the Hollow Earth, to save the humanity from the demon Ravana.
Mm.
The demon Ravana, who have this blessing of God of being immortal.
Interesting.
So he was here to like kill Ramana, to kill the demonic spirits and give people a positive environment or something,
Very
and
interesting.
and when we talk about the Buddhist culture, they always talked about the Nagas. Of course, Hindu culture have also talked about the Nagas, that Nagas are the one who come out of the Hollow Earth or the inner Earth to save the humanity time to time when the humanity needs them,
Yes.
because they are the super intelligent people and have the traits of the snake and the human together. They are the most conscious and the intelligent people, intelligent being, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Buddhism don't talk about Nagas more specifically, but they talk about the people who live in the inner Earth, and they say that they are the most enlightened one. They are the son of sun, like they're the children of sun, the inner sun,
Yes. Yes.
which give fire and heat and warmth to the earth. So they also come to the upper earth or the real earth where we are living time to time to save the humanity. And when like when we connect this thing with Trump, I personally think, that's my personal opinion, that I think that the Nagas or whatever you say, like the people from Agartha are here. Maybe it's Trump or maybe it's someone else, but they are here and helping us,
Totally. Totally.
because it's the
All that
biggest warfare.
totally. All that coincides with what you just said with also, of the stories of Lumeria, the
Oh
Atlanteans,
yeah, yeah,
how they were in war with, now there's a certain thing that people don't understand. When they use the word Anunnaki, right?
mm,
They used it too generalized, right? So
yeah,
Anunnaki can be of good or of bad, right?
exactly,
It's higher level of thinking, right? So there was a war between higher level vibrational creatures, we'll say, which are still of God. God created everything, right? God
exactly,
created everything. We are all created of the creator, right? So the Lumerians, right, are the ones that supposedly went to Argatha, right? And they become the Argathans, right? That live in Hollow Earth, or the Palladians, or Atlanteans, right? That's why the other day I watched the Disney movie Atlantis. It's the same representation of Palladians or Lumerians or
yeah,
Agarthans, or the tall whites, whatever you want to call them, right? And that coincides with the Nagas and all these different things, and it all shows, like you said, Admiral Byrd. You got they just found recently a lake in Antarctica that's like
oh yeah,
thousands and thousands of feet under the ice, with
yes, 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 I remember.
bacteria that is not found anywhere on Earth.
Wait, I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold you there, right there. So,
Yes.
you know, like when you talked about bacteria, I think I think it's back in like 80s or 90s, or I don't remember, but they found a diamond or something, you know, like made out of water. And like I'm gonna link down the article on my description.
Yes.
So, you know, like that blog post and that article and this the PDF talked about that Earth have stored a high amount of water inside its core, you know.
Totally.
Yeah, so I'm so sorry. Yeah, I got a
No, no,
like
no,
fun
no, no,
fact here.
totally.
So
Which is
yeah,
also
no.
weird. Today's National Water Day. So
Oh, exactly.
very weird. And I don't
Talking
want to
about
say
water.
this, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Poole or somebody posted a diamond that looked like water or something
Oh
today.
yes, 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 yes. Yeah,
So
I think it's not Mr. Pool. It's for someone else. Yeah, it was
yeah,
some XRP
it was an
Twitter account or
XRP thing or
something.
something. I forget. I don't think
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
it
yes.
wasn't Mr. Poole, but it was something because I remember seeing it in the group chat. So that's weird
Yeah,
that, we're on the timeline
we are
and
talking about.
exactly. And in this lake that's under the ice, they found a bacteria that is not found anywhere on Earth. They can't figure it out. They say it's alien. They say they just can't figure it out. It's nowhere.
Oh,
This bacteria is nowhere to be found on Earth. It's only
wow.
found in this lake that is thousands and thousands and thousands of feet under ice in Antarctica, right? Then you
Damn.
have another, I forget the specific name of this cave in Thailand that is like
Oh yeah,
so deep that there's
I
literally
remember.
thousands of miles long forests and mountains in this cave, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so there's literally places on Earth that are inside the Earth, right? Then you got the stories of Admiral Byrd, you have the Hindu culture, you have so many different cultures, right? Then specifically going back to the Trump stuff, Trump wanted to buy where? Greenland, right? Greenland,
Greenland. Yeah.
they have a camp, right? A military base called Camp Sentry, right? It's under the ice. It was used in Project Iceworm, right? And why do you think Trump wants to get that land? Because the poles shifted. I don't know if anybody knows this, but the poles have shifted. So all the power that was in Antarctica has shifted to the North Pole now. So all the power is in Greenland and Iceland. And in the movie Atlantis, the Disney one, where do you think he finds Atlantis? In Iceland. In Iceland, under the ice,
Damn.
under the ice in
That's a
Iceland.
huge connection, bro.
It's
That's a
all
huge connection.
there.
You cannot like, yeah, it's all there. You know, like just you cannot just neglect all these things. You know, like we gonna like I also know like some of the caves. You know, like there's one cave in Tibet because the Tibetan and the Buddhist culture knew about the land of Agartha and everyone. And there was a cave. There's a cave which leads to the Hollow Earth in the pyramids of Giza. Of
Yes.
course there
Yes.
will be. Egyptians are
Totally.
all over like all over connected. And the fun fact is, you know, like there was this tribe. Hold on, I have a name here. Oh yeah, it is like it was the Makuksi Indians. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Okay.
they were called as Makuksi Indians. They used to live in Brazil or somewhere in the Amazon, and they used to call them, and according to their legends, and they used to call themselves the children of sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they knew the path which can lead them to the hollow earth. Like they also given us the specific days, you know, like it took like 15 to 17 days to follow the path.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's on their legendary books, you know, like the manuscripts and everything. And do you know who is the child of sun? Lord
Jesus.
Rama. Lord,
Yeah.
yeah, even Jesus,
Yeah.
Lord Rama from Ramayana, who came from the, you know, like Agartha.
Yeah.
And so many connections, bro.
Well,
Like
there's a central sun in Hollow Earth, right?
exactly, yeah,
There's a
there
central
is.
sun in Hollow Earth. And even bringing it back further, you go into the book of Enoch. The book of
Oh yeah,
Enoch, he talks about the firmament. He talks about the firmament. He talks about how the earth is hollow, the seven mountains, the lakes of fire. He talks about all of these things that were literally being told through all of these different cultures, right? Through all of these
exactly,
different stories and legends, right? And why do you think that they had a treaty in Antarctica? Why do you think they did these things to keep everybody away from this stuff,
exactly.
to hide what is going on in the middle of Earth, because it goes back to all these esoteric teachings, as above, so below, right?
Yeah.
And they are trying to take over the middle of Earth because they know that that's where the most abundant energy is, and they're manipulating it for evil. And that's what the Order of the Black Sun, that's what all these people that worship Saturn, right? Not just the planet Saturn. Saturn is an energy. It's Satan,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
They worship that because they're trying to infuse that into our central sun, because that's what makes the Earth's planet's vibration created, right? That's the Schumann resonance. That's everything that we feel is this. And there has been people that, you know, very, very talented channelers and mediums and remote viewers and other people on higher ET type of clearances that are reporting that there are wars happening in the middle of Earth right now between different entities. It's proven that all these earthquakes that are happening, all of these different things, there is a battle for the middle of Earth right now. And us on the surface are only on the surface. We are only at the tip of the iceberg. And there is so much more going on in the middle. And Trump knows about it. And the white hats know about it. They know about it. And there was reports also that Gitmo is a joke compared to the prison that they have in Greenland. The prison they have over there, they're not just holding, they're holding creatures there. They're holding Dracos and Greys over there. That's where the real prisoners of this planet are being held.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and we call ourselves red pill. I'm not talking about anyone in personally. I'm talking about in general, that we people call ourselves red pill, but we still make a image whenever we say something. Like if we say about the Anunnaki, we portray a negative image. When we talk about the Nagas and reptilians, we portray a negative image. We portray a like fear mongering image or something. Like that's how they want us to be.
Totally.
Like even you know the truth, but you still feel like fearful or something. You still feel dizzy and you still feel anxious talking about all these things. But I don't, because I know there are good and there are bad of everything.
That's the only way it could be.
And
It has to be duality.
Yeah, exactly. Like duality. Yes, exactly. And like when people talk about the firmament, like as above so below, and I don't have, like, I haven't read the Bible and everything, but I have like heard and I read a little part that where it talks about the firmament. And like I was watching this video earlier where this guy was explaining how we literally have the firmament above our earth. Like the water we have is in a molecule form or anything like that, right? And the water above the firmament is something with the atoms and everything, some different kind of molecules, but the same elements, right? So the shapes, the qualities, all are different, but the elements are same for both of the water, as above so below. So what I think, like I make this connection that what we think as a sun is for us, maybe their sun is different. Their sun is not like a big ball of
think about this
lava
real fast,
and everything,
right? So the aurora borealis, right? The northern lights, like those beautiful, colorful. What if, right? That is their sun, the central sun, peeking from the holes of the top of Hollow Earth, right? Like what if that light is coming from the inside of Earth and it's being projected onto the firmament? And that's why all of these, like NASA, Werner von Braun, all of these people have tried to pierce the firmament so many times. That's why they lied about the moon landing. That's why they lie about these things, because the only way to travel to another planet is interdimensionally, right? You have to create a Stargate or a wormhole within yourself to be able to travel off this planet, because the firmament will not allow it. That's why Elon Musk is losing rockets by the day. He keeps flying up these rockets and they just keep crashing, because you cannot pierce the firmament the way that God created our planet to protect it from these things. So and that's why these cabal people are so obsessed with trying to open stargates and trying to open wormholes and drinking adrenochrome. It's not just to keep them like young looking. There's a whole
No.
satanic worship behind it to open holes in the time gate so they can travel.
Yeah, they can get the power, like what they want to travel through the gates and everything.
Exactly.
Because the thing is with the gates which leads to the truth, which leads to the certain dimensions, you have to have a pure soul. You have to have a powerful pure soul. That's the only way you can go through that gate.
Ascension.
And
Totally.
that's not me saying, that's our Hindu manuscripts and Hindu culture and every other mythology is saying, like even the
Totally.
Greek ones, even the Egyptians, even the Hindus, they all say the same thing. That's not
Totally.
me. And they still try, like I still believe they're still trying to break it through by force. And they don't think,
Not
I
working.
don't know if they think or not, but it's not working for them.
Not at all. It's like the
Not
Tower
at
of
all. Yeah.
Babel. The Tower of Babel. They tried to create this giant tower that would pierce the firmament. Got destroyed.
Exactly.
It got destroyed. They can't do it. They're trying to mimic God, right? That's
Yeah.
their whole purpose. They're trying to mimic God. They're trying to be a creator when you're not allowed to do that, right? Like
Exactly.
you have powers of creation. Now don't mistake that at all, because God gave you that
Exactly.
power, but you cannot create what he created in the sense of the universe. It's
Exactly.
impossible. And
You are recreating everything what he
exactly.
created already.
Exactly. In a small scale, you are
Exactly.
creating what he created, right? But
Yeah.
you, in no way, shape, or form, can you break the laws of God? Can you break the laws of the universe? Can you break the laws
No.
of the everything, of the infinity?
No.
And that's what these satanic freaks and these bloodlines are so obsessed with. They are trying to be at the highest level of power, and they just will never do it. They just will never do it. And they'll do
Exactly.
anything. They'll crash and burn themselves to try to do that.
Exactly. They're power hungry. They're power hungry. And talking about the power hungry, let's talk about the last thing for our episode, like for this podcast, the
Amazing.
Vimanas. The
Yes.
Vimanas, right? And this Vimanas are like my favorite. So I have like few things, like few red pill things which are my favorite, like with the aliens, the extraterrestrials. I don't call them aliens, I don't call them aliens.
That's
These
the
are the
psyop
ETs
word.
or the, yeah, psyop word. Yes, exactly. The ETs and the higher entities, or like the UFOs and the reptilians. These are my favorite topic to research upon, like to talk about, like to know more about all of them. So
Well, wait,
that's why I don't
before you go
fear.
into Vimanas, John Radcliffe, who was the head of the DNI, literally just came out and said that we have crafts that can break the sonic boom
Oh,
without making a noise, that can do things not of Earth.
without.
So if they're coming out and telling
Yeah,
us this, then we know for a fact that it's real. So now we go into the Vimanas.
exactly. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, we have this technology from like past so many decades, or I can say a century, or over a century or something,
Way
right?
over, yeah.
We had, yeah, way over there. Yeah. So, like this Vimanas are so fascinating for me, like whenever now, so, like now, whenever I see a temple, or especially the South temples, like the South Indian temples, I see a particular shape. I see a particular shape. I see a particular base upon,
Mm,
like which they have been built. And when I see the Vimanas, I have read the Vimanika Shastra. It's a Sanskrit literature about how to create Vimanas. Okay, so Vimanas are UFOs, right? The flying objects. Vimanas are the Sanskrit word for the UFO,
yes.
the flying objects, right? So we talk like this Vimanika Shastra, the literature of flying objects have talked about how to create it, what metal you should use, what elements you should use, how a pilot can drive it, what dress a pilot should wear, and
Mm,
how much energy should it take, or like so many different things. So I this is my particular knowledge about the Vimanika
of
Shastra, because I
course.
think like they use a special kind of metal to like to control the heat, so the pilot will not get burnt, like
Yes,
from the
yes.
heat and
I heard it
everything.
looks like a
uh
mirror. I heard it looks like
oh
a
yeah,
mirror.
yeah, it looks like a mirror, yes,
It's
exactly, it
crystal.
looks
It's
like
crystal.
it's yeah, it's like something some shiny different metal.
Yes, yes,
I don't know if we still have it or not, like I don't know we still have it or not, but yeah. So this thing, like whenever I see the south temples or whenever I see the Egyptian pyramids, I see vimanas there,
oh yeah,
because I have seen the previous, like, hold on, let me just share a screen, and let me show you the pictures of like the vimanas and everyone, right?
totally. Well, it also comes down to like that. A lot of this stuff has to do with frequency, ancient
Oh
frequency.
yeah, exactly.
That's how you
So
control it
yeah.
all.
Yeah, exactly. So you see this picture? This is the
Yes.
this is the ancient time, like, so these people are there, and I think this is the Lord Rama's Vimana. I
Okay.
believe, I don't know, because he used to have the same kind of Vimana. So like you can see this is the structure. Every temple here in India, you can see the same kind of a structure. If we go like this is the Vimanika. This special UFO is called the special Vimana is like have I think its name is Rukma Vimana.
Okay. Yeah,
This Rukma
Rukma. Yeah, yeah,
Vimana.
yes, I've heard of
Yeah,
that.
and it's the same. Like it seems like a temple. It seems like
Totally.
a temple.
Totally.
Totally right. In India, you can find these temples, and
I mean, this
these are the
goes back to
papers. These are the papers.
Atlantis. Yeah, it goes back to Atlantis. It goes back to
Yeah,
all these ancient civilizations,
yeah.
It's all handed down technologies. I mean, you could even go into, for example, not the Nazis. The Nazis had the bell, the Nazi bell, right?
Oh
Which
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which kind of represents a
Diglonke.
small temple, right?
Yeah, Die Glocke. And if we talk, like if we talk about the Nazi, so before we go to the Nazi, here, look at this one.
Wow.
This is the scripture from the Temple of Seti One in Abydos, whatever Abydos or whatever it is. It's in Egypt, and when we look this thing closely, you see helicopters, you see submarines, you
Incredible.
see gliders, you see
Zeppelin, yeah.
different, yeah, Zeppelin, and I don't know what is
It's
called.
like a blimp. It's like a blimp.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so you can see all these things connecting, like this is the pilot, and this is, like that's how they make the gliders and everything. It's
Also back
everywhere.
into the book of Enoch with the chariots of fire that flew in the sky. And it's like it's all there.
Exactly, it's all there, bro. It's all there. That's yeah, all right. So yeah, this was the, like I knew about the vimanas and everything. I want to know, like what do you think about these technologies? Like I have read this article where, like I read this article like a couple of years back, where I seen like that article was saying that there is a secret society inside the NASA,
Oh, totally.
like, right, and they
Totally.
used to, like over budget their budgeting system, like they used to charge like $1,000 for just coffee mugs and coffee mixers and everything, I don't know. So they used to charge a lot for the normal essential stuff, and that's how they used to get their budget. And that's how, like they used to make the UFOs and everything. So what they used to do is, like they used to deassemble every part, and they used to assemble out of the USA, or like in like their secret uh, Antarctica or
Yeah,
anywhere else, like they used to
totally.
assemble it again and used to test it. So, like that's what I have read. Can you like give any authentication about this thing, because I don't know
Yeah.
about anything about this thing.
So yeah, it goes back to the Nazis, right? So the
Yeah.
Nazis, right? Werner von Braun took over NASA, right? He was a Nazi scientist, not a secret. You could go look this up. It's not a
Yeah,
conspiracy. He was a Nazi scientist, and the Nazis were very obsessed with the occult. They were very obsessed with Sanskrit, right?
power.
The
Yeah,
Nazi symbol is a Sanskrit symbol, right? So
yeah,
the sun, right? Maria Orsic was a channeler for Hitler. She was channeling these ETs, probably in Hollow Earth, and she was getting blueprints how to create these Vimanas, right? The Nazi bell. Like these
yeah,
are these are things that really happen. They're not conspiracies. They're not secrets. They're not alien or it's real deal things, right? So they have been using the deception of NASA to hide the true nature of how these things work. And it all comes down to frequency. All of it.
yeah.
It has nothing to
Absolutely.
do with rockets. It has nothing to do with firepower. It has
Ah.
nothing to do with that. It's of the magic and the energy within ourselves to control these crafts. Like you said, only people of higher level can control these crafts, and good people, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
These other lower vibrational entities, they can't do it, and that's why they're obsessed with trying to do it, and they're trying to
Yeah.
figure it out, but they can't, because they don't have that God code DNA of tapping into consciousness and learning how to use these crafts and learning how to use these frequencies and different things. Like Nikola Tesla was very key on this stuff. The man that
Kang.
created the coral castles in Florida.
Oh
They
yeah.
don't know how he brought those giant. The dude was this tall. I went there. I visited. They don't know how he moved these giant pieces of coral and created this sculptures and these things without the technology. So
Yeah.
the Egyptians, they've all had this technology, and they've all known that it's so basic, but it's just so suppressed. And you have places like NASA, and they hide this stuff because they don't want you to have it. They want to keep it for
Exactly.
themselves until they figure out how to really control it, which they never will. They never
Yeah.
will.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
the moon landing, all that shit. Why would they have to make it up if they could really do it? You
Exactly.
know, they
It's
went to
that. Yeah.
Mars, right? They went to Mars. You
Yeah.
get pictures that look like
Absolutely.
they were in the middle of the Arizona desert. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
at some point we have to ask the question of like, why is the deception so thick on all of this stuff? And you know,
Yeah.
it goes back to their favorite story, Plato's cave, the story of deception. They show you the shadow creatures on the wall while they're up there doing so many deeper things to try to control these things, right?
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
deception, it's lies, it's so they can literally occult the knowledge, the power, and the technology.
Exactly. Like I used to say this to like anyone, like in my family, I used to say this. Do you really think we get from like we used to have a computer, like size of a room, right? And
Yeah.
now we just have this. Now we just have this.
Yeah.
And we still using the fossil fuels, the same fossil fuels from decades.
Yeah.
What do you think? One side of technology is so much advanced and one side is still like dropping
Very
sides or
basic.
something.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
basic, bro. That like the US Army was using GPS. So we were introduced by the GPS in 2000 or something, 2001 or 2000 or
Yeah. Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the US Army was using the GPS way before than
In
that.
the 80s,
Exactly.
way long ago
Exactly.
for their
So we have
submarines
the
and stuff.
technology. We
Yeah,
have the
totally.
technology. They just release it through time to time, like to
Tesla created
control us.
Wi-Fi. Tesla created
Exactly.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yeah. The Tesla coil.
It's been there. It's been there.
Yeah.
It's all
Exactly.
ancient frequency technologies that literally they suppress from us. And then they give us
Exactly.
piece by piece. Oh, the new iPhone. We added a little thing to the camera. Like when we should really just be like, I should be talking to you right now through my mind. But
Exactly.
we've been suppressed from this knowledge. And, you know, like
Yeah.
it literally coincides. It circles back to what's going on right now with this awakening and the consciousness shift and all of these things. We're in the soft disclosure, right? And things are going to shift, and we're going to start to see these new technologies that are really old technologies, that are really sacred technologies from the Lumerians, from the Atlanteans, from these first civilizations that figured out all of this stuff of how the universe works and stars and planets and dates and numbers and symbols and colors and all of these things. And they stole it from us, and they made us think that it's evil because they don't want us to have it.
Exactly. That's it, man. Yeah. It's all have been said.
Yeah.
It's all have been said, like, so yeah. I had so much fun with
This
like
is
to
amazing,
like,
bro.
but sadly we have to conclude the episode.
It was
So before we
amazing.
conclude, like I really want to ask, like I'm making this kind of a ritual or something for my podcast, for my future podcast and everything, that whoever the guest is, I want them to give one suggestion of book they like, like any suggestion that they think people should read that book or something. So do you have any kind of a like suggestion or something like for the book, like you think?
Okay. Yeah, I got one. This
All
is a
right.
very easy read. Um, the Celestine Prophecy.
Oh.
Very,
I
very
just
easy
bought this
read.
one. I just bought this one. Yeah. I
Very
just
easy
bought this one.
read.
The Peruvian manuscripts, right? It's all
Yes.
about the Peruvian manuscripts and everything, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
about consciousness and about
Yes, yes, yes.
it's a
I have this
very,
book. I
very
have
good
this book.
book. Very good book.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too advanced into books right yet because
Yeah.
people that are listening to this, I'm not saying that you guys don't read a lot, but let's start slow. Let's start
Yeah.
slow. It's a
Yeah.
part of our society that has been suppressed. Start with the Celestine Prophecy, go from there.
It's a nice
And
one.
then
It's a
the
nice
next
one.
time that I come on, I'll suggest another book. But this was
Exactly.
awesome, man. I
Yeah,
can't
man.
wait to come back. I'm so grateful for this experience with you. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that you're doing this.
Thank you, man.
This message is going to literally echo through the collective, especially you're doing this in India. I'm doing this in America. And we are conjoining forces and making this such a powerful, powerful thing.
Exactly.
Thank you, brother. I love you. And I cannot wait to
I love
come
you
back.
too, bro. Like, yeah, thank you. And I'm glad you came in, like you are so smart, like
Thank you.
how you connect all the things. And I've always, like admired you, how you connect the things, especially the posts, especially the timelines, like the everything, and the thing, like I have seen from like my past experiences that whatever you have said has been true until now.
Totally.
So I believe you I believe in your
Future
every word.
proofs
And
past, man. Future proofs
exactly.
past.
So anyways, like thank you for coming in, to thanking for making my episode super gold, like super
Yeah.
powerful. Like that's what I bet on, like to my viewers, to my uh, subscribers, that the information you're going to get in conscious mantra you're not going to get anywhere.
Nowhere.
It's pure
Nowhere.
gold. It's pure gold.
Totally, man.
That's what it is. So thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, John. Thank you so much
Totally.
for joining in.
Thank you, bro.
The conscious mantra signing off. See you, bro.
See ya.